Why did I choose Aboriginals? I chose Aboriginal Australians because I have always been fascinated with their country and their animals. Even though I have never been to Australia, I'm in love with its animals like koalas, kangaroos, wallabies, and my favourite of all, platypuses. Despite my intimate knowledge of Australia's animals, I have never known anything about the people or culture. I decided that now was the time to find out. It is commonly thought that the Aboriginal people came from Southeast Asia, e.g. Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, around 45,000 to 50,000 years ago. The Aboriginal people believed in a time called Dreamtime, which was the wonderful golden age when the world was filled with gods like the Wandjina and my favourite of all, Rainbow Snake, who was the god of fertility, growth and refreshing rain. Rainbow Snake was a good, approachable god who resembled a python snake with a crocodile's tail and a kangaroo's head. The Aboriginal people thought of their life as being sent out by these gods from Dreamtime, who can be nicknamed Dreamings. The Dreamings created everything that now exists and fixed them for all time, meaning that there is no point in rebelling against the laws of the Dreamings. They believed that their whole point in life was to obey this law and perform the rituals which physical and social reproduction are said to depend upon. They believed that the landscape was a dominant representation of the Dreaming's reality, and that their everyday tasks and activities were simply just a reenactment of the mythic Dreaming. The Aboriginal Australians believed in a place called the Land of the Dead. This place was commonly defined as being in the sky world. However, there are certain sacred sites across Australia where it was believed that the deceased could go, like Braglu or Uluru. The Aboriginals were very protective of these sites, as that is where they believed the last remnants of their loved ones live. However, the Aboriginals believed in the concept of resurrections, similar to Catholics, in which everyone is brought back into living things in Australia one by one. This created what they believed to be a never-ending cycle. Since everyone went to the same places, i.e. there was no heaven and hell, they believed that a person's actions during life had no bearing on the well-being of the spirit in the afterlife. One thing that is built into the Aboriginal afterlife belief is that every human soul is indestructible, and that the spirit of a dead person is thought to keep the individual identity of the person immediately after their death. However, this is only for a brief portion of time, as the loss of individuality and distinctiveness is considered to be a sign of immortality. Another common but not universal Aboriginal belief is that the body possesses two spirits or souls, the first of which is called the R.E, which comes from their paternal ancestors and is believed to be what starts the process of pregnancy. The second spirit is called the Nangrulu, which can be translated to the shade or shadow of the person. This spirit is often represented by the heartbeat of a person. This spirit is potentially dangerous and evil, and so rituals take place to try to remove the spirit from the deceased, as otherwise it might haunt them. Once the wuwarr soul is removed, the other two souls are said to bind together for the person's ascent to the afterlife. The story of the Land of the Dead. Although ideas about the afterlife were fairly similar over much of Aboriginal Australia, though the details varied between areas. Elkin, 1954. The general story about the Land of the Dead goes as follows. Along the Lower Murray River, Ngunnawal, a hero from the Dreamtime, who is also called the God of Fish, ventured for a long period of time on Earth, then travelled to the west with his children. Very quickly, he noticed that he was missing one of his children, so he threw a spear in the direction that he thought the boy might be. The boy spotted the spear and grabbed it, allowing his father to pull him to safety. The belief in a lot of areas was that Ngunnawal continued this practice, using a spear to guide people to the afterlife. When the spirit of the dead person arrives, Ngunnawal allocates them a place to live. The newcomer to the land always cries and weeps, but how much they cry indicates the number of wives that they left behind. If tears only flow from one eye, then he has only left one wife behind. If they flow from both eyes, two wives. If tears stop from one eye but continue from the other, etc. As a courtesy to the dead Ngunnawal, judging by his tears, allocates the newcomer the same number of wives in the Land of the Dead. Another beneficial aspect of the Land of the Dead is that if you are old, then you are made young, and if you're sick, then you are made healthy. I do not agree with the Aboriginal afterlife because, first of all, I am not religious and am an atheist. Second of all, is that I were to be religious, I would find it hard to believe that our actions while living do not affect our well-being in the afterlife. I.e., I believe that if someone led a very bad life, say Hitler, then he should have to pay the consequences of said life. However, this does not mean that I do not find their afterlife interesting. In fact, on the contrary, as I found the idea of Ngurundi leading the way to the afterlife with his spear very intriguing. Thanks for listening.